It's quite a view up here on Highland Street, looking westward over Syracuse, just around the corner from yesterday. That's where you'll find the vacant Frank Garrett house, designed by Wellington in 1913. In 1997, the house was listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Yet this has not ensured its upkeep or survival. It may be looking a little worse for wear these days, but don't judge a house by its cover. Reading between the lines of its frayed and crumbling exterior is the story of an extraordinary architectural achievement. Built by Ward for Frank Garrett, president of the Syracuse Lithography Company, and his wife Millie. The house was once a part of what was an affluent residential North Side neighborhood. So this house is a great example of Ward's work, and his legacy has been recognized nationally, and we want to do everything to protect and preserve and present the best of his houses. The structure is a two-story English cottage-style masonry house with stucco siding and half timbering. It is front-gabled with smaller gabled bays projecting from the front and side facades. One of its most distinctive features was the imitation thatched roof made of thick rolled asphalt shingles, now replaced except over the side entrance.
It was about the integrity of materials, about using stone to look like stone and bricks to look like bricks and glass and all the separate kinds of materials in a house. And you can see some of that look in the Garrett house.
Further decorating the house are its leaded glass windows, designed by a frequent Ward collaborator, Henry Keck.
Keck was just the local stained glass designer at the time. And that's who he would use, local craftsmen if he could. I mean, Keck did wonderful windows, church windows especially, all over the country. And if you needed leaded glass, you would call Mr. Keck.
An extraordinary living room inglenook is a showcase for the artistry of Henry Chapman Mercer.
Mr. Garrett wanted an English cottage look, and so Ward asked Mercer to design a medieval subject for the fireplace, and then Ward drew on his skills and his sources of medieval design to make it a medieval-looking house. It wasn't really, of course.
Art scholar Cleota Reed has written the definitive study of Mercer and the Moravian tile pottery works.
He drew St. George spearing this ferocious-looking dragon, and then he decorated the edges with shields. I'm not sure what the shields were about, but he used 3 of them in the whole fireplace, which would have been a medieval idea. And then a little village behind and jagged-looking foliage. And the theme he saw is medieval. There's nothing new under the sun, you know, and so a lot of inspiration comes for him, other medieval tiles that he saw, and then he would translate them. I like the word translate, to take an English design and make it his. The mosaic style was made like stained glass. It was cut up into pieces, and each one designed and put back together. And the mold is just one piece. And then they would just score it and take it apart, glaze each piece, put it back together. And he said it was akin to making a stained glass window, which is true.
It's easy to call something an eyesore, but you don't call your grandfather or grandmother an eyesore just because they have a bad knee or they don't see as well, they have cataracts. No, you try to care for them as best you can and possibly even take care of their ailments and make them active again. The close proximity to the modern commercial buildings that line James Street has made it difficult to promote the house as a desirable residential investment. We know that the owner purchased this a number of years ago with the full intent to restore it, and did put money into the house and put a new roof on, secured what we call the water handling system, the exterior envelope, so the house is watertight. And we understand from recent photographs that except for some messiness, essentially the interior remains as intact as it was when purchased. But for the last several years, we've seen no progress on the house, and the exterior has continued to deteriorate. So we're very concerned. And we hope that the owner will either re-engage, and of course during the pandemic it's been very difficult, or he will reach out to others to do the work instead by selling the property or donating the property or creating some kind of public partnership, all of which are possible solutions. We have a great track record of saving some historic houses in Syracuse when we put our mind to it. The Preservation Association of Central New York and the Arts and Crafts Society of Central New York have successfully rallied people to save the Harriet May Mills house on the west side. We've saved what was the Jewish War Veterans, it's now known as the Babcock Shattuck House on the east side. There's the ongoing work, which has again been nationally recognized, for the Stickley House on Columbus Avenue, the Wellington or the Estabrook House out in Fayetteville, which has been saved. This is not a lost cause by any means. The Garrett House can and should be preserved, and it is not rocket science to do it. Yes, there's no doubt it's going to take a lot of money and a lot of effort. But maybe, just maybe, the Garrett House can survive the adversity of time.